A lot of guys started shooting with the T2i and cameras like that, but you know, I had the A7 III. I'm just so privileged to have a crazy camera like this, you know, crazy in a good way. So yeah, I was looking at my older videos. I shot a huge part of my old portfolio with this camera. You know, I shot music videos, I shot weddings, I shot all types of videos. This camera has just really made its mark in my life as a filmmaker, and it continues to shine in 2021. So I was looking at my old videos and I got the idea to, you know, put the FX6 down and try shooting a music video with the A7 III again. So I end up shooting a music video for my boys over at Bleu Collective. Just super talented guys. And we end up shooting the whole music video on the A7 III. It was just fun going back to my grassroots, and I really wanted to shoot a whole project or a music video with this camera again because one, I haven't been shooting with mirrorless cameras in like forever. Two, I wanted to see if, you know, the A7 III is still a great tool to invest in today in 2021. And should a filmmaker or a guy coming into the video production world in 2021 invest into this camera? The short answer is 100% yes. I think anyone who is stepping into the game in 2021 and they can get their hands on a A7 III coming into the video production game with 4K resolution and, you know, 60 frames per second, 120 frames per second, it's like, it's insane. And again, I just think the A7 III would be an incredible investment for anyone who's just stepping into the game. So I won't be talking about technical specs of this camera. I'm really just getting into my personal experiences. There's so many videos on YouTube that go into the technical specs on how it shoot 4K 30 frames per second and 1080 60 frames per second, image stabilization and the build quality of the camera. This is not that video. This is more about my personal experiences. So I shot this music video with the A7 III and the 24-70 G Master lens, and on the front of the lens I had the 1/8 black pro mist filter. And to monitor what I was shooting, I used the small HD 702 touch. Yeah, I was shooting pretty much handheld. It was 90% handheld for this music video. I tried putting the camera on a Ronin S with just the lens and the camera body. If you have the 24-70 G Master lens, you know how heavy that lens is. So the Ronin S was just spazzing out and just, you know, going limp and doing that weird Ronin thing. I just took the camera off of the Ronin and I just shot handheld. So just make sure your steady shot is on in camera, and you know, bend your knees. That's the best gimbal you can buy right there, you know. Good old knee gimbal. One thing I was quickly reminded of when I was shooting with the A7 III was just how bad the LCD screen is, you know. It was very hard to gauge my exposure when I was shooting, you know. Most of the shots would look just blown out. When I would check my small HD monitor and check the false color, it looks like I was exposing well. So it was just confusing, and I was just kind of shooting and praying that I wasn't blowing out my footage to no return. But when I got back to editing the footage, it was a good thing that I did trust my false color on my monitor, because yeah, the shots were exposed well. There's other tools on the A7 III like zebras that will help you gauge your exposure. The lighting setups for this music video was very simple, minimal. You know, I wasn't trying to do too much with this music video. I really wanted to keep a small footprint with the A7 III, couple lights, and keep it really, you know, grassroots when it came to shooting music videos. It really made it fun again, you know, shooting music videos with, you know, just you, the camera, couple lights, and the artist. So we only had like 4 to 5 hours to shoot the whole music video. We managed to get it done, and I managed to shoot the whole music video with one Sony battery. We did have 2 batteries ready to go just in case we ran out, but we ended up just using one. And that's always been a thing with the A7 III with me. You know, when I was shooting music videos, I would literally probably just use one battery the whole production. On lower budget music videos, you don't have 16-hour days. At least I would hope you're not having 16-hour days on a lower budget music video. But yeah, usually our shoots will last about 4 to 5, 6 hours. One Sony battery would usually last me that long, you know, turning the camera on and off. The image quality out of the A7 III still amazes me. You know, in 2021, everyone is pretty much trying to shoot full frame, and a lot of camera companies are going the full frame route of things. So the Sony A7 III being a older camera and being full frame, it's just really dope to me. You know, you got that full frame look out of an older camera. So the A7 III is still, you know, swinging with the big boys when it comes to, you know, cameras in 2021. Color grading the footage out of this camera wasn't the easiest, but, you know, once I jumped back into it, I got back into my workflow of, you know, color grading footage from the A7 III. I was using custom settings when it came to the picture profile on the A7 III. I just dialed in a look that, you know, I felt that looked good. And there's so many videos out on YouTube about, you know, picture profiles, S-Log3, HLG, just a lot of videos and information about how to get the A7 III to look, you know, good. Yeah, this camera been out for years, so there's people with workarounds for almost every problem, you know, with this camera. And color grading is something that you just have to deal with when you're just getting into the industry. When I started with the A7 III, you know, I had to learn S-Log3 and how to make it look good and look decent. Towards the end of the music video, lights started getting dim, and I wasn't worried because, you know, with the A7 III and the A7S II, you know, I used to shoot music videos in almost pitch black. I used to bump the ISO up to 5,000 and barely get any grain with these cameras. So that's another thing that I always loved about the Sony. They were really shaped for that one-man band, unpredictable lifestyle of things on set. So you're thinking about getting this camera in 2021, trust me, you're making a good decision. It's still a very, very good camera going into 21, 22. Yeah, you have a few more years for sure in this camera that you can make your investment back from. So yeah, thanks for watching this video. A7 III is still a killer camera, and I'll be shooting with it for, you know, smaller content, things of that nature. So I appreciate you guys for tuning in, and carry on.